Good evening. For me, it's July 13, full moon in Capricorn. It's a super moon, and so we're going to look at the energies of the moon and some tarot for each of the zodiac signs. So, one of the things I've been thinking a lot about is the light body. And so, as we continue through life, more and more we release our bodies and we kind of celebrate and join more of our light body. So I was reading about it. It was talking a lot about the concept of, the etheric body, the emotional body, the mental body, all those bodies. And they were mentioning everything except for the physical body. But I was thinking, our physical body is energy too. And it's part of the hologram too. So all of ourselves can ascend closer to the light body and the 5D. And as we do that, one of the things it talks about is the Merkaba and the Merkaba pattern, and using that as a chariot, as a vehicle for our ascension. So the Merkaba is interesting because it's actually the symbol that I have used for my logo for Spiritual Rebirth Sanctuary. And I didn't really realize when I was using that symbol that it had so much to do with the light body. So one of the pick a card tarot and also meditations that I want to do next week is with the light body. And part of activating the light body is to raise your vibration, clear your pineal gland, eat higher food that is like, eat more food that's like liquid, not a solid food, spend more time in meditation, prayer, music and sound. Find ways to laugh and to be silly, to spend time in nature, to connect especially with the sun, and be clear in our minds and clear in our lives, clear in our behaviors, releasing the addiction and dishonesty. So in the end, we want to activate the light body by activating the Merkaba around ourselves, which is placing the pyramids around us upside down and right side up, and bringing in that activation. So I thought, well, let's pick a couple of these to talk about. Maybe the pineal gland. So the little bit that I have learned about or understood, the pineal gland, it has to do with, it's a gland that's inside right by the third eye. So as you're activating the third eye, you're activating the pineal gland. It's kind of like all part of that same chakra. And the pineal gland, there's many ways that it can be calcified. And so we want to have it expanded again and full function. And that brings on more psychic abilities in your life. So it's definitely something that's part of our light bodies that we want to embrace. Another thing that I learned is that it helps to create melatonin, which helps with our sleep cycle. So learning how to release pineal gland and to have it be full function should help our sleep as well. And another thing I want to talk about is the sun. It's really amazing right now. If you take pictures of the sun or around the sun, there's all kinds of rays and sunbeams, light, all kinds of light and sun that's coming out right now, stronger than usual. And the sun just really has that beautiful clarity for us. Okay, and then another one we might talk about is meditation. So bringing meditation into our life is so important. And I still work on having a really consistent practice. But my goal, what I try to do, is to meditate first thing in the morning because it kind of sets the tone and clears the day. And a lot of times I find that it's easier to meditate when I am maybe staring into a candle, or I start saying like affirmations in my mind, gratitude, like I'm grateful for my bed, I'm grateful for my couch, I'm grateful for this house, I'm grateful for my dog, I'm grateful for my cat. And just try to quickly as possible just say things that you're grateful for, and it kind of overwhelms your mind. Another, obviously clearing your brain mind, doing your breath, and as you're doing that, if thoughts start to come, acknowledge them and let them leave, and make sure you don't judge yourself for having lots of thoughts. So there's many different forms of meditation. Another thing for my YouTube channel, I've been making meditations for you guys to listen to and to connect with. And those meditations are guided, and they actually use theta energy healing in the healing of those meditations. So if it's for anxiety, it has actual healing components, energetic healing within, embedded in the meditation. So they're very powerful tools for you to use. All right, so I think that we are being called to increase our light body and to begin the process. I don't think it's something that happens instantaneously. I think over time, more and more, our light body is integrated into our life. So I want to pull a animal card for each zodiac sign. Let's do fire, water, earth, and air. Let's start with the first zodiac, the Aries, for fire. The earthworm. Now, I always see a lot of fire in this because you see the vortex behind the earthworm. So sometimes one of the smallest, simplest creatures has the most profound wisdom to offer us. And the earthworm, gets out of the way when there's a lot of rain. It is able to be cut and to go into two parts, so it can go through a lot of trauma and still be itself. So Aries, you're being called to enter into this vortex, and to know that even the simplest little things can be really important for you. Sagittarius, snake. So this is a very healing snake. It's surrounding the symbol for the seed, and kind of like that seed expanding in you. And I definitely feel this has a Kundalini aspect. So Sagittarius, you're being called to Kundalini activation, growth in spirituality, and in healing. Leo, lizard. One of the first things that I think about when I think of a lizard is how it can just sit in the sun and soak up the sun. We're talking about the importance of the sun and light body activation, and also the lizard doesn't mind just being out there sitting in the sun, soaking up the sun, but it also has kind of a lazy attitude about it, and it's affected a lot by the weather. So it could be that something about this next couple of weeks, you'll have a lot of the weather affecting you. What did I say next? Water. Cancer. So you got the black egg. The black egg is really mystical. It's a lot about truth and really finding that inner truth. So Cancer, you're being asked to go within this time and really seek your inner truth, your inner wisdom. Scorpio, Huck. So this definitely is putting off a lot of energy, and so don't let yourself get too bogged down. It's time to expand and grow life. And Pisces. Okay. So the butterfly, of course, the first thing we think of is transformations, going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Also, a butterfly has a lot of beauty, even if it doesn't know it. And we can really enjoy watching and seeing butterflies. Butterflies can also point to people who have died, coming back to give us messages. So Pisces, I think at this time, I especially being drawn to that idea that maybe someone who has passed in your life will come and say hi to you through a butterfly at this time. Okay. Earth, Taurus, Bear. So the bear reminds us that it's good to take time for ourselves, make sure we rest, don't overwork. It's okay to work and hard and to do things you need to do, but don't overwork in this situation. And hyena, the Capricorn. So in this case, remember there are other people around you that may not see you the same way. Don't worry about that. Just be your authentic self, connect with the energies of the universe, and shine forth with beauty. Virgo, Dolphin. So Virgo, you're being called to spend a little more time in the flow, in the sea, in the water. Remember that dolphin is both a mammal and a sea creature. And so it has both characteristics, both understanding. So it still needs to breathe air rather than having gills. And so, a dolphin also really brings us to the concept of play and having a lot of fun. Okay, Aquarius. So follow the raven, follow your insight. This reminds me of their card of the High Priestess, I think. So I think she has that same ball. So, this is a really spiritual time for you, Aquarius. And capitalize on being extra spiritual at this time. Okay, Gemini. Stingray. I like how the stingray kind of has like a Kundalini activation. The stingray is often one of those creatures that you can pet when you're at the zoo. And so it's kind of like that up close and personal effect that you're going to be able to have at this time. And last but not least, Libra. The rabbit. Oh, my son is a Libra rabbit. So, no, he's a Libra dragon. His brother's a rabbit. Sorry. Taurus rabbit. Anyways, the Libra, you're being called. So the rabbit to me has a lot to do with family, fun, waking up to the new beautiful things in your life. So, Libra, don't forget to have a little fun in your life. All right, so the overall energy is the Panther. So all of us collectively coming to this moon, it's, pretty, Panther is a fairly dark, well, flesh if it's a Black Panther. I'm just thinking really like strong and loyal, vibrant, just know that you are who you are and walk into that energy at all times. That is quite beautiful. And the moth. So the moth is kind of the other half of like the butterfly. Moth comes from the caterpillar as well. And maybe you don't know whether you're going to get a butterfly or a moth. And so in your life, there might be a little bit of surprise during this week going on for you. Okay, so thank you for coming to this energy update for the full moon, the super moon here in July. And this was a really great time. I really enjoyed it. I just right now, I just feel so confident that the success, the inspiration, the direction, the focus is just around the corner. And we just keep pouring new beautiful things into the world and see what comes back. So right now, it seems like I'm being drawn to a lot of videos about my life, about maybe things that have happened or things that are good to think about and know about. So check out some of the videos that I will be doing here in the next few weeks. I'm also going to go up to visit my parents, which is a little nostalgic. And I am planning an ayahuasca session the first week in August. So I'm really excited about how that will transform my life. Because always a transformative event. So thank you so much for coming to this energy update, and I will see you in 2 weeks.